So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining in. We shall just begin in a few seconds. Stay tuned with us and we'll go live in just another 1 minute's time. I'm just setting up the technical aspects so that we go live better. Just stay tuned. Thank you. Perfect. We are at 2 o'clock now, and let's begin. So I welcome all the participants and Mr. Shekhar, thank you so much for your time, sir. I welcome you to this wonderful session wherein we have participants waiting for your knowledge and presentation. So Mr. Shekhar comes with more than 35 years of experience in pharmaceutical industry. He has trained more than 3,500 pharmacy professionals on product knowledge, marketing strategies, and soft skills. He has helped them reach from the basic MR position to very senior positions. He has organized numerous national level and state level doctor conferences, symposiums, and panel discussions. So I welcome Mr. Shekhar to take over the session from here and help us understand what this medical representative profession is all about, how one can start a medical representative, as a career option with pharmacy or, other life sciences graduation, and how, what his journey was all about in medical representative profession. So, Shekhar sir, thank you so much for consenting us and, spending time here. So now I welcome you and you can take it from here, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Manoj Kumar. It has been a great pleasure for me also to be associated with you through this program today. And it is also great meeting all of our participants today to share something about the job or the domain of that medical representative. And I hope I am audible.
Participants, please confirm, if Shekhar sir is audible, type Y if you can hear him clearly. Yes. So Ramesh, Dinesh, yes, confirming that you are audible, sir. Please go on.
Okay. So I'll just try to share my screen also before that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So once again, fine, it is all perfect and we are in the right start to proceed with the things today. See, as far as the today's topic is concerned, that what Mr. Manoj has told regarding the medical representative, the job of a medical representative.
Sir, sorry, just Manoj is fine, sir. Just Manoj is perfectly fine.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
So I'll try to take you across through various aspects about this job. Today, you all will agree that in Google, you get all informations. You could have also gone through the profile of a medical rep, the job of a medical rep, etc., etc. And I don't say what you found in Google is right or wrong. It is to a very great extent true also. But today, what I am trying to share with you is my thorough experience in this profession, which I have been there since last 38 years in the industry. So there is nothing like a knowledge from Google what I'm going to share with you. It is purely my experience, which will be put it in a very simple form so that you are able to understand and at the end of the session can take a decision whether this job is suitable to you or not. I am not there to influence you to say that this is the right job for you, but I'm going to show you the various benefits of these jobs once you are getting into this particular profession. Okay, to give a brief about me, my name is Shekhar, like Mr. Manoj has already introduced to you all. I have been working in pharma industry for the last 38 years. I started my career with a company known as Sarabhai Chemicals. And I think it is no more there, those companies, but once upon a time, it was a giant in India, along with Glaxo and other companies. So I had spent a very vast period of my time in Sarabhai Chemicals as a medical representative, working for almost 11 years. So during those particular period, and the very few companies were there in the pharma market, only leading multinational companies were there. And then large Indian houses were there. And I was working for a company, the Sarabhai, which was only manufacturers of penicillin in India during those days. Later, which only the other antibiotics started coming in, but we were contributing a lot to the pharma industry during that particular period. So I have a vast, to give you a brief, I had 11 years experience as a medical rep, 1 year representative as a frontline manager, where we call it as area manager. And subsequently after that, I was the regional manager. I was elevated, joined other company as a regional manager. Then after some time, I was taking care of the entire South along with Goa. And during my entire career, I had interest in two things. I joined this profession as a medical representative out of sheer ambition and passion for this job. People don't believe when they say that I had an ambition to be a medical representative, because in those days, there was an ambition, and two of my ambition got fulfilled at the same time. One being a medical representative, second getting a job in Sarabhai Chemicals. So both of them happened to me at the very early stage of my career. And during those days itself, when my manager was inducting me, he told me that in future, before I retire, I should start contributing something back to the industry. That is how it got registered in my mind that I should be a trainer. By being a trainer, I can be a better person who can be associated in contributing to the life of the people. So today I'm very happy when Mr. Manoj gave me this opportunity to share with you about the job profile of a medical representative. I'm fulfilling my dreams, in one of my dreams of contributing something to people's career to go forward. In that way, I'm very happy. And during my medical rep period itself, I had a lot of inclination towards marketing. As a representative, I used to suggest a lot of advertising strategy to the company, which certain things were implemented, some were not. But I had that passion with me in both the things. So the screen, what you see as Nipun, I started it after my retirement in the industry, a skill assurance partner for training basically. But since many of the people know me in the industry that I am also good in marketing, I started also getting clients for marketing, designing visual aids and other things. So that is how I am doing both this. So that is a brief about me. And I have my family. I am based at Bangalore. I have two daughters. One of them is married and she's abroad in US doing her CFA, CPA. And I have my second daughter who is also doing a law, completed a law, and she's doing a company secretaryship. My wife is a school teacher and my mother is alive and she is with my brother right now. And that is about the brief of me. Now, having come to know that today I'll be sharing about the job, and mostly the participant today are pertaining to the pharmacy part of it, I would like to pay my respect and salute Professor Mahadev Lal Skroff, who is considered to be the father of pharmacy education in India. And most of you are attending as a pharmacy graduates or pharmacists. You are all well aware about him. Even I had this opportunity to go through him about the brief of Mr. Mahadev Lal Skroff. So once again, my salute to pharmacy, and also namaskar to all the pharmacists and other participants who are participating in today's program. In fact, I had a brief association with pharmacists in Bangalore in the year 1984-83. I don't know whether Mr. Gundurao is still there in the Pharmacist Council of Karnataka. So he was our existing stockist. So during that time,
he is still there, sir. He's still there, part of KSPC, sir.
Yeah. So Mr. Gundura used to be our company stockist, and I have to say, I was seeing him very actively participating. And that time, Pharmacy Council was in a nascent stage, and things were building up. And we used to also contribute a lot of our samples and other things for the camps and other thing. What that was my earlier association with pharmacy in India. But always I had a thing that I need to get interacted with him, and that's how during my time in Pharmet, when Mr. Manoj was also working for BioPlus, we used to have frequent interaction. I used to always be very happy about the knowledge what he has got and the initiatives what he used to take. One time or other, I thought that I have to be associated with him. And today is that opportunity where I could share stage with him, screen space with Mr. Manoj too. Right. So now coming back to this, the medical representative way forward, I'll be covering a lot of aspects where I'll be also giving you my personal examples and my personal experience. Sometimes it can be a bit lengthy, so I request you to bear with it also. But before the start of the medical representative, I'm going to put a page which will be very lengthy, but I'm not going to be about it so that you get an idea how this medical representative profession started in the world and in India. So it all started with a Swiss company by name Roche, where they wanted to introduce the product in Japan to market the product. But they found that in those days, those trading companies were there. Their trading companies used to distribute the product across their respective countries, including India. So they were not able to do justification for the product what Roche wanted to introduce in Japan, where they were not successful. So they had to hire a man who is a pharmacist, chief hospital pharmacist in Japan by name Nino Mia, where they taught him about the product and they asked him to start discussing about the product with the doctors. Why I'm trying to say this is the job of a medical representative in the world started first through a pharmacist. Today, it is being done by many other people of different faculties, but the job of a medical representative, first time in the world, started with a pharmacist. So this is a job for pharmacists, basically. But of late, there has been a shift and various other people have also committed. So he was the first and foremost who was known as a propagandist. And now it is called as a medical representative. Later, if you see the sheet which is there in front of the screen, even companies like Borosh Welcome started appointing medical representatives. When they started meeting the doctors with the clinical report and medical information, the reception what they received was much better than anticipated. Then in early 1913s also, the prescriptions of the product started. And once it started coming, it made some economic sense to many pharmaceutical companies to invest more heavily in the sales staff and whose credential and techniques which won over the physician. So the job of a medical representative is one of the scientific selling in every sense of the word. Therefore, they attribute this to the salesman first and last. But today, of late, there is a change. They are not only salesmen, they are also salesmen plus service, which I'll be discussing with you during the course of the time. I hope I was able to give you a brief. Even in India, we had a lot of trading companies. Like, for example, Days was there, East India Company was there, Balance was there. These were all some of the few distributors who were marketing the drugs in India. And in those days, only multinational companies were there. 30 or 40 companies were there who were marketing the products in India. And the concept of medical representatives came much later. Once they found that at the international level this is working, the profits are increasing and they are able to make some economic sense. They started also implementing the same things in India. So that is how I just wanted to give you the past, how the profession came into being, how as pharmacists people contributed in the first phase of our medical representative. Now, what I understand about pharmacy, basically understand the participants are pharmacy graduates who are looking at some others are also there. But to say you brief what I understood about pharmacy, it is a science of preparing and dispensing medical drugs. And it is also the study of pharmacy involves chemistry and pharmaceutics among other specialized topics. I hope I am right. I'm trying to keep it in a very short form. So what is that I have mentioned here, the shift, the process is going to start now. As of now, in my previous slide, we have seen that as a pharmacist, you are either manufacturing a drug or you are dispensing a drug. Today, when you are going to attend this program to find out the job of a medical representative, there has to be a shift in your mindset. Because shifting of mindset is very much necessary for understanding this job. You have to learn and unlearn many things what is existing with you right now. The basically is that the shift in the mind. That is from a dispensing mindset. Today, you have to temporarily shift to the selling mindset. I hope I'm able to make some sense to you. You have to shift your thinking for time being till I complete the program from the dispensing or manufacturing mindset to the selling mindset. So dispensing, when you are dispensing the drug, it requires understanding the pharmacology of the medicines like pharmacokinetics or pharmacodynamics, and pharmacokinetics, right? So many of you know what is pharmacodynamics or pharmacokinetics. I am not going to go much detail into this particular subject, but this is very important for you. According to me, selling's definition is in front of you in the screen. There are many definitions which are given for selling in pharma selling or in fast moving consumer product sales, everything. But according to me, selling is all about how you can influence the customer's mind so that the customer understands your product and does you a favor by either by way of giving you a prescription or by way of giving you an order. So selling in pharma industry is all about how we are going to influence your customer. The customer here for you is primarily, it is the doctors. So how are we going to introduce that? So in lighter vein, to just bring down the seriousness, instead of knowing pharmacodynamics, you have to, in a lighter vein, understand what is doctoral dynamics and doctoral kinetics. There is no word like doctoral dynamic or doctoral kinetic. It is just to bring in some lighter component to the thing of this. So now I'll little more further go, like I explained to you, and I'll be explaining to you again. Selling is very important as a medical representative. So your mind shift needs to be shifted from a manufacturing, from a dispensing to the process of selling. So when I talk about selling, I have two phases for you. One is the pre-corona phase and what is the post-corona phase or the present phase that is going on. I was very fortunate to be in both this segment, in the pre-corona phase as well as in the post-corona phase. Pre-corona phase means it was the sale or it was the job wherein our medical representatives or we as medical representatives, we had a direct interaction with the doctors on day-to-day basis, meeting them physically. Meeting them physically means it is not that we are going to fight with them physical. No, means one-to-one interaction in front of each other, physical, what we call it as. So there was a physical interaction with doctors on day-to-day basis. We had a physical interaction with our customers like chemists as well as the stockists. So I have to give you an explanation of what pre-corona's job of a medical representative was. But if you see in the last 10 to 12 years, the advent of the technology has come into pharma industry also. Software came into the being. Then we had the advent of computers coming into the field, not if not in pharma industry, into India. We had mobile phones which came into that. Prior to that, they were pages, then the emails, then you have these modern telephones, smartphones which are coming to it. We have iPad, iPhones, and many things have started. So today what has happened is digital has also entered into the pharma selling. And in the last 10 to 12 years, you will find that there was a mixture of both physical contact with the doctors and also digital contacts with the doctors. And more so, particularly now in the post-corona phase or in the present moment, it is the digital has come into a lot of prominence into the profession. And now you have a thing where it is digital marketing. That is, it is both physical as well as digital. Doctors do expect still people, particularly medical representatives, to meet them. During the course of the slide, I will be able to put across to you some of the statistics and some of the figures, what a survey that has been done to show that still doctors prefer to meet medical representatives, and how this digital component has come into the play in the last 10 to 12 years. And more so, it is very prominent. So today we are in a world which can be described as phygital, a combination of physical as well as digital. I hope I'm able to explain to you. If there is a confusion, you can definitely make a note of it. Either you can tell me at the end of, you can ask me those doubts at the end of the session, or if it is very, very much important, you can raise a hand on the screen or inform Mr. Manoj, so we can try to solve both of us together your issues.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely, sir.
I hope the going is good. You are able to understand. I am not, speed is okay to you all.
The participants, we need your active participation. Please confirm if it is clear. Type CLR if it is clear. CLR if it is clear. Very good. Yes. See the chat box, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll be, like I told you, I'll be covering the two aspects about the job of the medical representative. One is the pre-corona and the other one is the post-corona, and what is digital marketing, what is the scope of the job, what is the remunerations associated with it, what is the scope of this job, and etc. etc. Right? So that is how it is. It is digital marketing. Now I'm just coming to the job of a medical representative. So I'll be initially covering about the pre-corona days. So this job of a medical representative, whether it's corona, many of the segment remains the same. The job functions or the responsibility remains the same. So what is who is a medical representative? Medical representative is a professional who promotes medical products brand to the doctors. He or she does this by visiting doctors regularly in the assigned area. Once upon a time, medical representative job was dominated by only male. Today, medical representative job also is equally is done by women also. They are also into it and they are very successful. Even women also become medical representative, and I have seen many of them growing up the ladder in a very big way. There is a lot of advantages for also women to join this. And during my training programs also, whenever there were women in my training program, I used to talk to them their advantage of being women in this particular profession. They have a lot of advantages. In future, if some time permits, I can try to also say if there are women participants today, how beneficial this job can be to them also. Because basically they are very good at multitasking. Men are not so good in multitasking. So this job also they can do very well as a medical representative, and they can have a good career across. So promotes medical products. When I say he promotes the medical products, it is not that he is doing a charity service to the company or to the doctors. He is going onto the product to promote the doctor to get the prescription from the doctor. So it is basically all about selling, how we are going to influence the doctor mind so that he understands your product and does a favor to you. So there are a lot of things which are there as a medical representative, one of the finer aspect in this medical profession is we have these three P's. Three P's in pharmaceutical selling. That is, the first P is generally the person whom I associate with. What is the job of a person? The job of a person is to develop trust with the customers. If is and what is the second P? It is how he is able to differentiate the products compared to that of the competitor's brand, and what is that additional benefit he can show to the doctors, additional benefits what the product offers to the patient, to the doctors. And once you are able to convince both the thing, price doesn't make a big issue as far as pharma industry is concerned. If the product is good, if it is different compared to the other brands, if you are able to communicate it in a proper way, price doesn't generally come into the picture. So when I say he is a professional means it is not that he just goes into the field, just promotes the products and comes back. He has got certain accountability. He has to be dressed in a particular way. He has to show that he is a professional. He has to wear a tie when he's going and meeting a doctor. He has to have a pen in his shirt when he is communicating with the doctor. So communication plays a very important role, and he has to be good in communication too. So the many things professional means is covered with a target, is to be achieve certain objectives of the organizations, etc. How does he does this? He has to visit the doctors regularly in the assigned area. Every medical representative is given an assigned area in a city. If it is a metro city or if it is a big city, class A, tier 1, tier 2 city, depending upon the size or whether it's a district headquarter, you can either have 1, 2, 3, 15, 20, 30 representatives also in an assigned area. Generally, 100, 150 to 180 doctors are generally assigned to each representatives in an area. Then comes the main purpose of the visit, like I've been continuously telling, is to generate or create prescription for the product they are promoting or to procure an order from the doctor. So, visiting the medical store before and after the doctor calls also becomes very important, since the prescription of the doctors need to be honored. So if you look into it, apart from meeting the medical representative, apart from communicating inside about the products, apart from influencing him inside the doctor's clinic, his job also involves meeting the medical store. Why we need to meet the medical store? Because we need to get the information about the doctor before we go and meet the doctor. What is he prescribing? That I'll be covering to you in the subsequent slides. So there has to be an interaction with the trade, with the chemists who are there, so that after getting the sufficient information, we need to go and meet the doctor. After meeting the doctor, again, we need to come and meet the chemist to inform him what has transpired between you and the doctor inside the clinic. So the job of a medical representative still further continues. Meeting the doctors and promoting the products in the desired frequency as per the company policy. Every company has got a policy, like how many times you need to meet a doctor, what will be the frequency, which area you will be covering. So that needs to be done. The methodology of meeting the doctor is through communication, either by a visual aid. It means there will be a notebook pad-like thing where the marketing information will be written over in it, and then we need to communicate. So earlier days, during the beginning of the medical representative days, the concept of visual aid was not in practice, or people were not knowing about it. We used to go to doctors. We used to have a scientific literature, clinical trials, books and other things. We used to go and share it with the doctors. But slowly and steadily, the improvement in the communication part was developing. And Tarun Gupta, like people who are in the industry with Glaxo, Mr. Tarun Gupta, they invented visual aid communication in India. So that is how the visual aid communication came into it. People were able to see what doctors was able to see what the rep was communicating and he was able to see the visual. So it was a audio visual communication which was in practice during those particular times. And now today, if you look at it, there is still further advancement. We have the invention, iPad has come into the thing now. People, some of the companies are meeting the doctors through iPad, where they are able to communicate in a much better form, better way of communication by showing them the clinical trials, the reports, and many other things which are there. So iPads have also come into it. We are also giving them the leave behind literature. And this process, what is happening is that it is known as detailing. So how does the medical representative communicate with the doctor? The communication of the doctor to medical representative in pharma term, it is referred to as detailing. Detailing is informing to the doctor about the USP of the products, about the brand benefits, about the indications, and many other things. It can be either done through visual aid manually, or we also have iPads today, which is more attractive and better way to communicate to the doctors. And because of post-corona, now iPads communication or this sort of communication is getting more popular amongst the people, particularly to the digital marketing. Then the job also, after doing that proper detailing, what I was referring to you earlier, communicating about the doctors, about the product, about the USP, about the benefits, how it is different, how beneficial it is to the patient, etc. You have to hand over the company's promotional inputs to the doctor. Promotional inputs can be physician sample, it can be literatures, it can be textbooks, it can be clinical trial reports, it can be some gifts also to the doctors what are given. And in the last, the job of a medical representative does not end. He has to take a commitment from the doctor, because we are going there to get the prescription from the doctor. We are just not going there to promote the product. So once you promote and you have explained to the doctor, you have detailed them properly, the end should be followed by obtaining a commitment from the doctor and take the feedback from the doctor. So these other process, what I'm talking to you all, is generally dealt when I am doing the training program for medical representatives. But I'm just giving you a brief because it will be useful to understand what is the job. So meeting the medical store on a regular basis is also very important in the assigned area of the company policy. So medical representative is medical store is a place where we get lot of information about the doctor. But today, with the advent of digital marketing, with the advent of the new systems what are being implemented post-corona, and getting information from them is getting difficult and difficult in time to come. So here is a place where digital marketing can be very helpful. Data analytics can be very helpful. Artificial intelligence is also getting an entry into the pharma field today. So when you are attending the program today, I am also trying to explain to you, being a medical representative is very good. Once you work as a medical representative, you will be in a position to understand all the basics of the pharma industry. Without being not a medical representative, having only theoretical knowledge might not be able to help you, and you might not be able to connect yourself properly to the advancements what are happening. So being a medical representative for a year or two, understanding the job can help you in many aspects in the coming time, particularly when it is becoming digital, particularly when data analytics are going to play a very important role in the industry today, and also artificial intelligence can also play a very big role. But in the earlier time, the only option we had was to get information from the medical store about the prescription habits of the doctor. Inquiring about the prescription habit, which we commonly refer this as RCPA, Retail Chemist Prescription Audit, from where we try to get the information through the chemist about the prescription habits of the doctor, what is the type of brand he is writing, what is the type of patients he is getting, what is the duration of the therapy, how frequently he changes the brand, and what are the competitive brands he is writing. So many of these informations were collected by the medical representatives earlier by themselves. But today, all these informations are going to be translated and slightly. There are some agencies who are working on this information through digital medium. So having a knowledge about the digital marketing also can play a very important role. Even at this age of me, I have completed a course with Google Manipal on digital marketing. It was done 3 years back because I know that the future of pharma is going to be digital. When I can do at my age, youngsters can definitely look into this aspect. Apart from doing pharmacy, if you are able to do a course in digital marketing, if you are able to spread a bit of it and try to learn something about artificial intelligence, AI, it can all contribute to you in a much bigger way than thinking of just completing your pharmacy and coming upon. There is a very big scope for pharmaceutical management today. I've been attending various programs in which I find that there are some universities who are having postgraduate diploma in pharmaceutical management, MBA in pharmaceutical market management. So we can also think of doing all these things. But basically remember, if you are a medical rep, if you choose to be a medical rep for a year or two, the amount of learning and the amount of connect you can make to the other additional courses, what you will come across in future can be something great. You will be able to connect it in a much better form. So ensuring why we need to meet the medical store, because we have to ensure that the products what we are promoting to the doctor is first of all made available with the chemist over there, so that the patients are not put to hardship running with the prescription to 3-4 medical stores and finding out what it is. And we also meet the medical store because it is also a salesman. We need to get orders from them because we are bound by targets. So personally booking an order from a medical store, it is also referred to as POB or personal order booking. And we need to explain to them about the various bonus offers that can be provided to the chemist. Why I'm trying to say all this, because this is the job of a medical representative who in post pre-corona phase was doing all this. Even today to a very great extent we are able to do it, but it is also now covered through digital media with advent of the digital media. And passing of the orders from the medical store to the chemist. Then we have another component in our job of the medical representative is our distributor. Distributor is also a very important link in this pharma field. You have a manufacturer who is on the top, who is manufacturing your raw materials, who is making the brands, who is making the goods. This needs to be supplied to the depots of the companies which are located generally 4 locations across India, north, south, east, west. From these depots, the goods are transferred to C&F, carrier and forwarding agents. And these carrier and forwarding agents are generally located in each state. 1 or 2 C&Fs are located depending upon the size of the state. And from these C&F agents, the goods are transferred to stockists. Stockists are located at all towns, at major towns, like all townsmen, at all major towns. There are more than 3 stockists for each company at a given particular time. These are the stockists who supply the goods to the medical store, to the pharmacy. So this is where the patient comes and purchases the goods. So there is a big link. So the job of a medical representative is not only to generate or create prescription from the doctor. He needs to meet the medical store to inquire about the prescription habits of the doctor, ensure that the stocks are available over there. And then he also has to meet the stockist in that respective area so that he can ensure that his work doesn't go waste, because the products what is he promoting should be available at the stockist point. So the stockist is the one who will be supplying the goods to the chemist. So The job of a medical representative is all the three. All the three customers are very important to him. You have to meet the doctor, you have to meet the chemist, you have to meet the stockist also. So we have to ensure the availability of the stock. Procuring the order from the stockist is also the primary job, because this is referred to as the primary sale. When you collect an order from the stockist and send it to your C&F, this is known as a primary order, where your targets are generally covered. Most of the companies give the sales target to the representative based on the primary purchase, which is known as the primary sales. So the sales that are made from the stockist to the chemist, that is known as the secondary sales. So many of the companies, when they assign the target, it is on the basis of the primary sale. So if you have a good secondary sale, you will automatically get an order. So that is a long story once again. There's a long exercise. Now, like I told you, the entire thing revolves around the three: stockist, chemist, and doctors for a medical representative. And then further continuity, I have used the word executing and implementing the company's promotional strategy. Friends, there is a difference between the job of a medical representative and the job of a manager. So what I am trying to say is this: we need to differentiate between the both. The job of a medical representative is to execute the promotional strategies of the company. Whatever the strategies that has come from the company, execution part is generally done by the medical representative, and the implementation part is generally done by the managers. So there has to be no confusion between the two. Out of my experience, what I have learned is that there is a big confusion going on. The representatives also use the word implementing the company policy. According to me, this is not correct. Implementation is done by the respective manager, and the execution of the particular strategy is done by the medical representative. So once you become very good in executing the promotional strategy, you knock the door of a manager so that you can start implementing the strategies. You will be in a better position to guide your representatives. So the job of a representative is to first ensure that to execute the strategy, promotional strategy in a very good and the correct method, what company has asked you to do. Once you become specialist in execution, you are the right man to become a manager. Implementation. That is why I told you in the beginning of the program, everybody today needs to be a representative before taking up higher positions and posts. Once you become a medical representative and you know how to execute it, you learn the integrity of the marketing. Sitting in office or being a manager, you don't learn many things. Right in the field, you are executing, so you know what needs to be done in future. So that is why my request is that most of them, if they want to be successful, they have to have a small stint as a medical representative and see and taste what execution is all about. Then automatically, once you know, you become a specialist in execution, implementing things can be much easier for you. Then other job of a medical representative is that sending the daily reports which are there, feedback on time or as per the schedule. And the job also includes accompanying all the seniors during the joint field working. The representative is not generally left alone in the field. During my time, when the concept of this were not there, we used to be given a list. One day my manager will accompany and he'll just show me what needs to be done, and that is it. After that, subsequently, we have to learn everything by ourselves. We didn't have mobile phones, we didn't have any interaction. We had only telegrams and trunk calls. If at all, if there is some interaction, it will be either through telegram, it will be either through trunk call, and that is it. And my manager used to come and visit me once in 3 months or something like that. But we learned the job ourselves. But today, with the expansion of the industry today, we have the medical representatives have the advantage of having experienced managers with them. Many seniors, they come and work with them and share with them. And whenever they come, the job of a medical representative is to accompany all the seniors when the joint field work is planned. And always remember, we need to work in harmony with the team. There has to be a good harmony in the team. When we talk about a team in pharma industry, it is a one-day training program. So, but one thing today, what I like is that there has to be a good harmony in the team. If you find that there is a good harmony in the team, the things will be much better. You would have also seen what is going on in today in the cricket BCCI today. Why Indians are not able to come together, why the harmony is disturbed, the captaincy is an issue. So even as a medical representative, when we are working in a team of 5 to 6 people, harmony is very important and we need to work towards that. And the last thing is that when you are given the job of a medical representative, you are supposed to achieve unit wise. Unit wise means each individual product wise. Unit wise means there can be a strength of 250 milligram, 500 milligram. It can be dry syrup. It can be injections. So you have to achieve unit wise, product wise, monthly targets, quarterly targets, half yearly targets, and annual sales target by way of effective communication and implementation or execution of the company's strategy. So this is how the end comes to this. Whatever we are going to do, whatever we are doing in the field, the end result, the final report card is what is your achievement at the end of the month. So once we are able to do many things on the top, what was discussed earlier in a very effective way, we are able to execute in a proper way, achieving the targets with the support of the marketing inputs and other things, and with the help of managers and seniors can be not a tough task, provided there is a good harmony in the team. So this is about the pre-corona period, about the job of a medical representative. And now today, we are going to talk about the evolving trends, pharma industry, which is preparing for the digital future. So before getting into this particular topic, I would just want to know how you are feeling, how the going is there, or do you feel too much of information is being provided to you, or very less information is provided to you? How you are interested, you are enthusiastic still to learn more.
So this is for participants. Please respond in the chat box. Is the information clear? Is Shekhar sir going too fast, too slow, too information, too much of information? How do you feel about it? Okay, Prabhat says sufficient information is provided. So Prabhat, is this information good for a person who is looking forward to start a career in pharmacy profession or as an MR? Dinesh is clear. Excellent. So any more replies from the participants? Pooja says yes, much needed information. Ramesh says much needed information. Sadhna says clear. Gopal Deshmukh says clear. Very informative information, Priya says. So we are on the track, sir, and people
right,
are loving
right, Mr. Manoj. Thank you so much. I am happy that people are getting and trying to share. Now we are going to come to another important thing, which is the pharma industry, which is preparing for the digital future. Here I'm going to put across some statistics by the survey what was conducted. There was a question asked to doctors, can physical plus digital strengthen MR-doctor relationship? You will find from the report what has come over here, 68% of the doctors says yes. 23% of the doctors say maybe, and only 9% says no. See, what we have to remember, or what I'd like to share today is that for a doctor, a medical representative is a very important person, as important as his patients. Please remember, the doctors having busy practice, if they have to take a break during the practice session, they cannot have a break with their patients. Again, the patients are going to talk to him about the same problem with a drooping shoulder, saying that it is paining here, it is paining here, my BP is not under control. The same thing with the drooping shoulders and face. But when a representative comes in to meet a doctor, you will find that many a time doctors feel little better because they are getting a break from the routine. Second thing is that representative plays a very important role in not only sharing about the product and company information, they also share about the doctor's competitor information. How are the other doctors doing in the same locality? What is their prescription habit? How is the season? All this information doctors also like to gather. And this gathering of the information by the doctors is not through patients, it is generally through the medical representatives. So even though the thing is going into digital, many of the doctors still prefer that a combination of both is very much necessary. So one more thing is that how doctors expect communication from the MR. So if you look at the digital composition as and when the survey had taken recently, but it is still going much forward, 22% of the doctors say that digital communication, but many of them, 43% of them, they say they still believe in physical. They would like to meet the medical representative in physical form. Because I told you there are a lot of advantage for the doctors, even though they might get annoyed, but still they will, at the bottom of the heart, doctors do like medical representatives in India. But emails have got outdated. It's only 5% of the doctors who looks into the email today. There are various other platforms through which we can communicate with doctors. And there is one more slide which I'd like to put. Do you wish to interact with MRs? The survey was done on the doctors, and you will find that 74% of the doctors says that they would like to interact with MR, and only 21% says no. 21% are today saying no because they are either attached to COVID care hospitals, or they are attached to ICUs, or they are treating corona patients. So in those circumstances, they would not like to meet a medical representative, interact with an MR face to face, or physical interaction is there. So majority of them still prefer that. What is your preferred frequency of interaction? 68% of the doctors still feel that they can meet them once in a month. But today the situation is further changing. 27% doctors only prefer to meet the medical representative twice in a month. Very few doctors 3 to 4 times in a month. Means these doctors might be generally in the interior places, or they might be dispensing doctors, placing orders, or there can be any other category or reasons that they would like to meet. But a majority of them like to meet a medical rep only once in a month. So the job of a medical representative, unlike the earlier time, the frequency of visit to a doctor is getting reduced. So please remember, when the frequency of the medical call or the medical representative visit to the doctor reduces, the time that has been given to you has to be utilized to the maximum. So there has to be a very effective communication because the interaction is going to be only once in a month. Many a times it is going to be twice. So whenever you get an opportunity, try to utilize it to your full. Generally, a question was also asked, do MR add value to your medical practice? Medical practice means no. 53% of the doctors says that they don't add value to the medical practice. Value to the medical practice means MR cannot bring in patients to the doctors. They cannot influence doctor after a particular certain level. So there are many things which, when time permits, I'll try to interact with you. And then, do you prefer product information online? Please see the digital shift that is happening. 80% of the doctors today are prepared to get information through digital, online product information. Today, a stage has come, even senior doctors who are above 50 plus age, who are not well versed with the laptops or the digital components, what are happening to the smartphones, everything. Initially, they were hesitating to shift into the digital mode or to go into this sort of a consultation through online, etc., etc. Today, they have accepted the reality and they have started implementing those things. So if you look into this, the new MR, now we are getting into the post-corona phase. What I mean to say, it is no more MR1, it is going to be MR2, who will be better equipped to fulfill physician needs and to continue or create value for the pharma marketers. In the MR who is going to be today, he should be digitally capable person. He should be scientifically inclined. He should be more physician focused than the product focused, synced with the medical affairs, because doctors today need lot of scientific information unlike the earlier days, because today the public, the patient at large, before going to the doctor, they Google what they are having problem. Once the prescription comes out, they are again Googling and finding out whether the doctor has written the right product to them or not. So the job of a medical representative today needs to be synced with the medical affairs also. Then he understands the market conditions in a much better way, the evolving trends, what are happening, and it also caters to diverse customer group. Additional job requests. Now, for today's MR, you require a smartphone. Without a smartphone, you cannot just work with the older generation of phones which were there. Smartphone is very much necessary, either an iPhone or an Android phone. Operational knowledge of iPad and laptop is very much necessary in today's situation. Operational knowledge of the social media. See, today there are a lot of platforms which are there through which we need to connect with the doctors. For example, we have social medias like WhatsApp, which is also quite popular, but others are trying to overtake them. We have LinkedIn, we have YouTube, you have Facebooks and all things. So doctors are also looking into all these things now. There are also many other agencies which are working on it, where they provide a lot of information to the doctors. Doctors, they visit a lot of websites themselves, and they also interact with the patients on social media, and many companies are able to also track those things in the digital media, and many other also operational knowledge about the social media is also very important. And there are companies now which have started also training the field force on how to have a better operational knowledge of the social media. And we have to be confident enough, or we have to have the inclination, or we need to have the ability to learn newer applications. Learning newer applications is very important today. We have to have a positive mindset for accepting and understanding the newer applications. It will not be that you are just in the earlier world and you are not able to learn the newer application and you still say that old is gold, Ambassador is the best car. But no, the things have changed a lot. We need to have an ability to adapt to the newer learnings. Start to understand data analysis in a bigger way. Data analytics is very important today because most of the pharma industry, many of the companies in the pharma industry today are moving towards this data analysis. Data analysis gives you or are going to give you very precise information about your customer, that is the doctor, how the market is moving, what are the likes and dislikes of the doctor, what is the prescription habits of the doctors, what is the lifespan of a product. There are many other things which are possible to get through data analysis. So understanding the data analysis, start learning this data analysis is going to be the future for us. That is going to be the additional requirement for the new COVID era reps. We should have the ability to work from both the as well as from the home. Unlike earlier days, the work only in the field. But today, we need to have a temperament to work from both home as well as in the field. After completing the field work, you cannot just come and say that when I am coming to home, I have switched off. I'm not going to think about the company's activity. No, because today, if you look into it, job of a medical representative is expanding, and we need to get into social medias also. We need to track the conversations what are happening between the patients and doctors. Patient to patient conversation is also being tracked. There are various health clubs that are being formed where there is going to be interaction happening between the patients. If you are able to identify that communications, what are going on with them, that will give you a lot of inputs to you. Communication, try to take bold, try to be bold and start taking initiatives. See what is going on in the market, what your competitors are doing, how they are trying to gather information. Today, not only doctor is focusing on the patients, pharma companies are also started focusing on the patients. Because for the doctor, the patients or the customer, and today the pharma companies have also started focusing on the patients in a very big way. We have to have a very key sense of the competitors' activity, how they are going. Work as a team and not in isolation. Develop a good working relationship with the doctors. We need to find methodologies. So that is why we tell we need to be bold. Find methods and means as to how to go and meet the doctors in a difficult way. We just cannot say doctor is not going to meet me. We need to find ways and develop a good working relationship with the doctor. So this is all about the additional requirements, which I'll try to give you a brief. And then pre-corona time, it was all about sales only. But today it is sales plus service what you can provide to the doctor. What additional benefits you can provide to the doctor, what additional information you can give to the doctor, how you can strengthen the doctor in making him to treat his patients in a much better way. So these are some of the additional things what we have to learn about the job of a medical representative. So this concludes one part of the job of a medical representative. And then I'm going to talk about the emolument part of it. What is there for me in it? That is the question which comes to everybody's mind. If I am going to take up the job of a medical representative, what is there going to be there for me in it? You all agree that you would like to know something about that also? Can we move forward?
Absolutely, sir. That is something which everyone, each MR will expect, right? At the end of the day, what is it that is in for me as a medical representative? How much I'll be earning? How much amount of money I'll be making? Learning is all fine, but earning is more important today.
That is true. So I'll try to say I'm trying to divide this in two forms. One is personal. What is there for me in it? I'm going to try to give you two differential. What is there for me personal? What is there for me in professional? In personal, you have a self-satisfaction. That is very important in whatever we do. See, when you have self-satisfaction here, I mean to say is that today when you become a job, when you take up the job as a medical representative, you are going to meet the cream people of the society, the doctors, who are saviors, who treats the patients, who works for the well-being of the society. So you're not going to go and promote a TV, or you're not going to promote a cell phone or something like that. You're going to go to a doctor who is highly educated. You're going to talk to him about the products and you can make a difference to his treatment approach. So you have a self-satisfaction that I'm doing a job which can also contribute something to the society. I'm meeting the cream of the people in the society. Once you start meeting the people like doctors and others in the society, different strata of doctors, you gain a self-confidence yourself. You see many of the medical representatives today, many of them, I'll say, they are highly confident person. The confidence has come because of meeting the doctors, facing the situation, trying to work in difficult terrain conditions, everything. And you start believing in yourself. There is a self-belief, yeah, I can succeed in this job. It is a good job. There is a self-belief which can happen. And there are a lot of monetary benefits which I'll be discussing with you. Professionally, you can get a good recognition in the company, provided you are able to do a good job, you are able to achieve target. Additionally, you can get a lot of additional financial and material benefits. Material benefits means gifts, what I'm trying to say. Additional finance means you can be rewarded through cash or through materials. And you have a very good career opportunities also when you start your job as a medical representative. Please remember, many companies are providing lucrative incentives. It is said that incentive provided by many companies are one of the best. Earning potential or are very high. Many a times amount earned is more than double the salary, and even foreign trips are also provided as incentives. See the package what you have, fixed income. The incentive what many pharma companies are giving today is much higher in the long run. If you take the annual package, many of the companies provide incentives which are higher than your salary. So incentives are something uh, people work towards in pharma industry, and it is a very lucrative incentives what we have seen across pharma companies in India. So many people can earn a fortune by way of earning incentive, and many of them have even gone abroad on incentives. So many a times, what is there for me? There are two components which I'd like to share. One is the salary component, which is paid on a monthly basis. Sometimes, very rarely, we find the salaries are paid once in 15 days. But many a time, the standard policy is that they pay monthly basis. There is something, a second component. One is I talked about the incentives in the beginning. Apart from incentive, there is also a salary component which is paid on a monthly basis. Second, you have a daily allowance. Daily allowance means the field working days what you do. They also get paid for it. Paid based on the field work or company's activity. Either you work in the field or you are doing some company activities like attending a meeting, conferences, etc., etc. Salary for a fresh medical representative ranges, I'm talking about a very fresh medical representative, ranges from 2.2 lakhs to 2.8 lakhs per annum or higher depending upon the size of the company. It can go up to 3.5, it can go to 4. I'm talking about the basic thing, 2.2 to 2.8 for a beginner who doesn't have prior experience to it. So don't be dejected because the salary shown here is only 2.2 or 2.8. You will be also getting daily allowances associated with it. You will be also eligible for incentives after confirmation or after 6 months of completion of the service. But every year there is going to be an increment which will be associated with the salary what you have. Daily allowances in lay language it can be called as bata. Depends upon the classification of the headquarter town. Headquarter town means where you are based. There can be known as mega metro town. Mega metro town means it can be like Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata. These are all called as mega metro towns. Or you have tier 1 or tier 2 cities. In headquarter working, you get paid, it ranges from to 240 rupees. Again, it depends upon the type of the company. But generally, minimum to minimum, what I have seen is they at least get between 220 to 240 rupees or lesser in case of non-mega metro headquarters. I'm talking about the mega metros. I'm talking about the higher cities like Bangalore, Chennai, and metro towns. They can get between 222 or lesser in case of non-metro town. Then not only person is working in headquarter, there are some places which are over 30 kilometers from their headquarter town. They are classified as ex-headquarter. That is, you go there in the morning and come back after completing the work in the evening. Those are called as X headquarter town, outside headquarter. There, apart from providing an allowance, you also get per kilometer charge. If the distance is 50 kilometers, companies will keep you that per kilometer will be providing you 10 rupees, 8 rupees, 12 rupees. You also get. There is also an allowance which is stipulated for that, plus petrol allowance per kilometer basis. Then you have outstation. In some places where the headquarters are small, number of doctors are less, you are going to cover the adjacent districts. That is not where you are going to stay. It is known as outstation, where you will be paid the train fare or the bus fare, and plus you will be paid the allowances for food accommodations and other things. So that is also covered over there. So that is about the incentive component. You have incentives, you have salary, you have daily allowances. So three components are there for a medical representative. Now, the growth opportunities for a medical representative. Growth and expansion are fundamental to life. Without them, one gets stagnated. Life means growth. Stagnation means death. So, for a medical rep, you have a very big steps which you can. You start with a medical representative, you become first line manager, which is called as an area manager. Then you become a second line manager, regional manager. Then you have a third line manager known as a zonal manager, or you have another step which is known as zonal manager, national sales manager, assistant vice president sales, VP sales, and it keeps going on. So it depends upon the type of the company, what are there. Different companies have got different type of hierarchy levels. So I'm just giving you this. But one thing we have to remember, my personal opinion is that no one should remain in the same post for not more than 2.5 to 3 years. Maximum 2.5 years to 3 years. You are not going to learn anything more after spending 2 years. You are going to repeat the same thing again and again. So if you want to have a good career, you can become great. For example, there are a lot of things which has been quoted about the Mankind company. The Mankind person who is owning the company today, he started his career as a medical representative. Today he is owning that. So there are many companies there are many reps who have worked with me. Today they have their own pharma companies, running their own pharma companies. So, and many of them today are at the level of vice president also. Some of them are directors also. So there are a lot of people, there is a big scope. It all depends upon the opportunity, how we are going to grab, how we are going to perform. So whenever you choose a job, you have to have a very clear objective. Have a very well-defined ambition, what you want to do. You have to have a passion for working. You have to have a positive mindset. And then basically you have to have an aptitude of willing to succeed. If you have this component and then you choose the job, it can be always better. Today, many times what happens is that we choose job because we don't find any other job. Whatever comes on the way, we try to get into it. That should not be the thing. We should have a very clear objective. What is objective? Objective is something which is specific. It's time bound and it is also achievable. So you have a very clear objective. You have a very well-defined ambition, what you want to be in life. Have a whatever you do. Have a very good positive mindset and then willing to succeed. Always think positive. So just to take a small thing, there is a jar which is over there. Every day or now you just can add a positive word to this jar that starts with the first letter of your name. What is the positive attitude is that? It's a small exercise you can do.
Participants, now it's your turn. Please respond.
Add a positive word to your name, which is starting with the first.
So Pooja says pleasure.
Very good.
Excellent, Pooja. Come on, come on, come on. Use your first letter of your name. Passion. Priya says passion. Raman says responsible. Excellent.
Good.
Come
Always
on.
try to identify what is positive in you.
Dinesh says the dedication. Excellent. Ramesh says respective. Excellent. Sai Swarup, sophisticate. Rameshwar, ran for goal. Sneha Pawar, respective. You have to use your first letter of your name. First letter of your name. That is important, not others' name. Okay, Vijay says variety. Pratiksha says predictable. Vaishnavi says self-confidence. Vaishnavi, no, it has to start from V. You can say victory, for example, or victorious. Kavita says kind, perfect. Ashwini says ability, right? Upendra says unique. Prabhat says peaceful. So we have so many words, sir, all positive.
Very good, Mr. Manoj. So let them do it at a later stage.
Keep doing this. So this is your jar of positivity. Keep it at your home and wherever you remain active, and keep putting a positive word that starts from your name, and it will keep you inspired every single day. Okay. Thank you so much for responding, and Shekhar sir, over to you.
Yeah. I'm just almost finishing it. And then game of life. There are two things in the game of life. One is the finite and the other one is the infinite. In the finite part of it, the finite game is played for the purpose of winning or losing. There is a beginning as well as there is an end. Some people take the job. मैं ये try करूँगा. I'll try the job. If it works for me, it is fine. Or else I'll just drop it. So that is known as the finite game. I'll take a chance. I'll see whether it is possible. If I'm not happy, I'll quit. There are two components. One is you have an infinite game. In the infinite game is for the purpose of continuing to play. Infinite games are more mysterious and ultimately more rewarding. They are unscripted and unpredictable. So when you choose a job, when you choose a profession, think that you are going to play the infinite game. Have a long-term plan for you. Believe in yourself. Have passion. Have an ambition. Be clear about what you have, having your objectives. It is not that today you have attended the program and then you say that, okay, I have understood something about the job of a medical rep, so I will try this. No, you have understood, try to understand what has been told today. I just try to give you something brief about what I could do in the last 1 hour, 15 minutes or so. Always think about the infinite game. What is the purpose? How much I have to continue. But from the thing what Mr. Manoj was saying, I find that there are a lot of women candidates, participants who are doing over here. And definitely this job in pharma industry is very good. Starting with the life of a medical representative can throw them lot of opportunities for them, because they can get into any of the field. They can get into digital marketing. They can also get into analytics, data analytics. They can also get into artificial intelligence. They can also become marketing managers. They can also become product managers. Once you are a medical rep and understood the job, and tomorrow you become a product manager, you will be able to connect much better way with the doctors. So it's got a lot of opportunities. So there was a Sermo survey which was done. 67% of the doctors wanted their MR to talk about clinical studies, to talk about evidence-based medicines. Who can do better today? The youngsters can do much better today. when we talk about evidence medicine, and particularly if he or she is going to be a pharmacist, you are good in all these things. You have a good knowledge about the medicine. You can talk about clinical studies. You can talk about evidence-based medicine, how it can help the physician to help the patients. See, generally we look into the four dimensions in the current era. One is the personality. The personality of a person plays a very important role. And the second important thing in post-corona is that whether the person has got analytical abilities. I think for a pharmacist, analytical abilities comes natural now because you do a lot of analysis. So analyzing of a data or something like that is not a tough job for you. So these are the four dimensions what they look into the person today. One is the personality of the person, how outward he is, what is the mindset he has got, whether he has got these analytical abilities, what is the knowledge he carries with him, and then problem solving skills. So these are some things which we need to learn additionally of being an MR today. Experience do count, but we need to not only experience, along with experience, if you are able to add knowledge, if you are able to improve our analytics, what I want to achieve in life, there is a good way forward. But finally, to sum up, I still feel that if you want to be in the pharma field, learning everything and achieving everything is good. But if you have a short span of a life as a medical representative, that will contribute to you a lot. And I'm sure that getting I hope that I was able to open something out of you in the knowledge component of it in today's small presentation, whatever I did. So I hope that the knowledge what you'll have, you will be able to relate and come out and see the world what it is.
I absolutely love that this slide, a lovely slide it is. And it shows us the importance of knowledge. The knowledge can give you the wings to fly, and you can come out of your comfort zone. So nicely explained. So
that is the key.
Come out of your comfort zone and learn more, earn more, and be the change that you want to see in the world. So thank you so much, sir, for the lovely presentation. Thank you, sir. And this is sir's phone number. And anyways, this information will be shared with you all, after the presentation. So
that I was able to contribute to you today, something, and I would definitely like to be in touch with you all for other topics, what Mr. Manoj feels can be beneficial to you.
Absolutely, sir. We'll keep doing this kind of sessions, for the benefit of pharmacy professionals.
Yeah, and definitely, yes.
This information, including Shekhar sir's LinkedIn profile, I'll be sharing with you after the presentation. Sir, kindly close the slides.
And I am just closing the slide. Stop sharing.
So, attendees and participants, in one word, please tell me, how did you like the presentation? One word. Please remember, one word. Awesome. Excellent. Great session. Perfect. Mind-blowing. Amazing. Excellent. Superb. Very nice. Informative. One of the best presentation is nice. Excellent. So you should see the chat. It is, flowing with appreciation for you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Manoj.
Absolutely.
Thank you to everybody. Thank you to all. I would definitely like to, since I am seeing that I'm having some good positive feedback, definitely I'd like to be associated with the same group with another subject and which other topic to
definitely, sir,
contribute to their career advancement.
Definitely, sir. We keep doing that and we'll continue doing that. So thank you so much, sir, for your excellent 360-degree information about the profession of medical representatives. They are fondly known as MRs. And I'm sure this presentation will help many pharmacy professionals who wish to start their career as an MR. Your presentation clearly shows that MRs are the backbone of entire pharmaceutical and healthcare system, And definitely, this will be this presentation could be a first point of knowledge for many people who are trying to explore the profession of medical representative. So thank you so much, sir, for your excellent presentation. Now, as usual, we have the Q&A session time. So if anyone wants to ask a question, please do raise your virtual hand, and then you can unmute then and then ask the question directly with Shekhar sir. He spoke for about 1.5 hours, and obviously it will be great if we all interact with him for a few minutes before we close the session. So thank you so much, and please ask questions now. So we're looking for the virtual hands. Let's see if somebody wants to ask a question, and then Shekhar sir will take up the question. But give 1 minute. I don't know why pharmacy people think so much, to raise the hand and
they
ask.
want to ask question on two reasons. Like many times they say either they have understood everything or they have not understood.
But the way they gave the feedback, I thought, okay,
It's so nice of them. So nice of them.
So guys, okay, any questions, please go on, ask. I'm sure most of the, your questions are already covered in the presentation, but still, if you have some final thoughts, or you want to give a feedback, or, share some few words on during this live session, we'd definitely appreciate that. So go on and ask. If not, I'll anyways ask sir. So sir, first question to you is, there are, thousands of D.Pharm colleges in India, and for most of them, soon after they complete their D.Pharm and B.Pharm, they have two options. One is to join as a MR or start their own medical store. Earlier, they used to prefer to go to QA, QC and other departments, but this field is so saturated. And thanks to the pharma industries, they have started hiring non-pharmacy graduates there. So obviously we do not have much position. So the only option left is for them is to go into MR, go and join as a MR. So any few thoughts that you want to share with these people who are interested to join as a MR, what they should do, what they should do to get into such a job? What is the basic preparation they should go in for?
See, today's situation, if you look into it, when I was working in the industry with many of the companies, I was also working in the field as a field manager, where I was also responsible of selecting the people. Selection was also with me. So definitely, yes, there are a lot of pharmacy candidates who were selected. We had also approached a lot of pharmacy institutes not in pharma, but in my previous companies, where we used to go and put an advertisement in their notice board that we need, etc., etc. So we do get a lot of candidates who have done their D.Pharmacy, and we have put them in the field also. There are also candidates who have done their B.Pharm and they are working with us as medical representative. But like what you told, I have seen many people who were joining and who was doing the job, but they used to also give their certificate to some medical store for licensing or something purpose of that. We used to get around 1,500, 2,000 rupees. What I could, they used to confide to me that this is the medical store where my certificate is there. But if you look into that particular aspect, Mr. Manoj, I don't think that is a big money what they're seeing.
Absolutely.
So if you want to get into a real, medical representative, particularly D.Pharmacy, or the promotion within the pharma industry, which I would like to share with many of the people, are not based on their education pattern, field part of it. Tomorrow, if they want to promote you as a frontline manager, it is not your qualification that is going to count.
Absolutely.
It is your performance that is going to count.
Correct.
So, pharmacy students, what I have come across is generally they are much better compared to non-science or non-pharmacy MRs who are working. You have people who have completed their BA, BCom, they are coming and join this profession. They don't know ABC about pharma. They don't know ABC about the drugs. Whereas in case of a pharmacist, pharmacy person who attends my training program also, when we talk to them about the basic part of it, they are able to understand much better. They are able to present much better. So particularly if they are of a deep pharmacy person, I strongly feel that they have to come and join as a medical representative. One, but my request to them is that let them invest some small amount to do some additional studies. Like you have to do some digital marketing.
Absolutely.
That is not a big time course that you can simultaneously work also or do at home. It is a 6-month course where online papers, everything are there. So you get into it. And try to do some pharmaceutical management courses online.
Yeah, yeah.
So there are a lot of institutes which has come up. Try to get into digital, try to get into analytics, data analysis. So they can try to do something different because today only being a medical rep and try to get a job and then trying to come up in the career might not be advisable. So
Absolutely, sir.
digital component of the person should be ideal. So you can, there are a lot of institutes which are offering this kind of courses, which is not a very costly course. For 4,500, 5,000 rupees, you get a good people from Manipal, Google, and many other things. Let them do something, but let them join as medical representative. But it should be by choice, not out of compulsion.
Absolutely.
My sincere thing is that whatever job we do, it has to be through choice and not through compulsion. अरे कुछ नहीं मिल रहा है, let me take this. If you are going to take up the job with this attitude, you might not be able to succeed. You love what you are going to do. Yeah, I am going to be a medical rep. I am going to be proud of that, and I am going to work towards it. And definitely, career is much better. There are a lot of pharmacy candidates who have come up the line. One. Second thing is that they can also venture into product marketing, that is product management. If they are able to spend some time, they can use their knowledge. They can also become good trainers. I have a person who has done pharmacy who is working with Dr. Reddy Labs. He is working as a trainer over there. So there is a good opportunity for the pharmacy students also to come into it. But my thing is that they have to have a passion. They have to believe that it is a good job. Monetary benefits are definitely much better compared to many other industry, and their respect is also much better.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir, for those final notes. So participants, I don't see any questions and we have overshot the time also. So I would like to thank you all for being with us, for this entire session.
One more last thing, Mr. Manoj.
Please.
See, this pharmacy people and DPharm people who are looking out for a job of a medical representative, if they can send you their resume to you and you can send it across to me. I don't do placement agencies, but I definitely help people.
Definitely,
I can send
sir.
those formats to the various companies who requires medical representative.
Definitely.
Because there are a lot of vacancies for medical representative.
Definitely. So I've already.
And there are a lot of vacancies for frontline managers.
Absolutely.
But definitely, yes, once they join as medical representatives, they can definitely go up their career. And we can also time on and off provide them various type of inputs so that they also help them to grow in their career. Let them send the resume to you. You send it across to me. I will forward to my contact because I have a vast contact in the industry. I don't do placement. But as a service, I do help people to get jobs.
Absolutely, sir. This is so kind of you, and participants, I hope you note that. Anyways, the sir's LinkedIn link will be also shared with you. Please, you have my email ID. I have already given to you. If you don't have, you can put in the chat box. I'll forward it again. Anybody needs any kind of assistance with respect to jobs and training, please don't hesitate, because one question of yours can change your and somebody else's life also. So keep asking questions and keep connecting with people. That is how we move forward in life, right? And I keep getting so many resumes and I keep forwarding to connections, and sir is so kind, say medical representative was not something in my fort earlier, and now that is also added to it. So earlier I have done it for regulatory, medical communications, medical writing, QA, QC, R&D, F&D, all this kind of resumes I keep getting. And now if I get resumes for medical representatives, I'll be, obviously sharing with sirs. And also there are some companies where I have been connected to. I'll also share with them and definitely will get a placement for you. So don't worry. keep learning and keep earning. That is most important. Learning is very important, right? So thank you so much for your participation, and I don't see any questions as such. So we'll just move ahead and close the session for now. And I would invite you to be part of my next session, which is happening next Saturday at 2 p.m. And it will be on career opportunities in regulatory affairs in CRO setting and also agency setting. So if you are looking for a career opportunity in an agency setting or a CRO setting, then please do attend that live session. And thank you so much, sir, for his wonderful talk and providing all the information about medical representatives as a career, and also providing his helping hand and support to support the industry with his...
Definitely, and I can help them in a big way.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you. Definitely. And participants, if you want to have another session with sir, please do write to me, and you can connect with sir also, and then let us know what kind of sessions you are interested in, and we'll definitely look forward to organize the sessions. And do share your knowledge with others. If you have learned something through this session, please pass on this information to whomever you are connected. And I'm sure as a community we'll be growing faster, as a pharmacy community will grow faster than ever with this shared knowledge and sharing of information. So thank you so much, Shekhar sir. Thank you so much, all the participants, for staying till now and spending time with us in this learning journey. Personally, it has been a learning journey for me, and I learned a lot of things with speakers like Shekhar sir, who share their experience. Remember, this 35 or 38 years of experience that he has in the field, he won't get in this college life for sure. Okay, so learning and listening from experienced people like Shekhar sir definitely widens our horizon and helps us know more about the field. Right, whether you be part of this field or as an MR or not, but knowing about the field is very important. So you might be a helping hand for somebody else, right? So let's do our bit in the professional help to help each other. So thank you so much. Any final words, sir?
No, that's it. It's been great to be amongst you all today.
Perfect.
And I wish each and everyone a great career ahead.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Priya. Thank you, Sneha, Prabhat, Upendra, Preeti, Dinesh. Thank you so much for being with us and spending so much of time in this learning journey. And all of you will get a SMS with the recording of the link, and also the link of sir's LinkedIn profile will be shared. And stay connected and keep connecting with people like Shekhar sir. He'll definitely be of great help to us, in our career prospects. So stay connected. Thank you so much, Sneha, Pooja. Yes, absolutely. Nice interacting with you. And I'll meet you sometime in my next session on coming Saturday at 2 p.m. If you want to learn, please do join. So stay connected. Thank you so much. And I wish you all a wonderful weekend.
Yeah, thank you to you all.
So much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.